everybody. Today we're going to add to our understanding of why a dominant seventh chord functions or operates as a 5-7 chord, bringing us ultimately to a 1 chord. So let's look at a simple G triad in the key of C. There is a tendency of this bottom note G to resolve down a perfect fifth to a C. The other notes will resolve up. The B will resolve up to a C. The D will resolve up to an E. So we'll have a root, and a third. So let's listen once again. We have G triad resolving to C. Now let's do the exact same thing. Let's imagine instead of a G triad here, we have a C triad, C, E, G. And the bottom note C is going to resolve down a perfect fifth to an F. Let's see how that sounds. And then let's imagine that this chord is now an F major triad, F-A-C. The bottom F is going to have the tendency to resolve down a perfect fifth to a B flat. Once again, F resolving to B flat. Now you're probably asking, well, how can this be a C major? There's no G there. And to illustrate why this is perceived as a C major, I'm going to have to explain to you harmonics, or what are called partials. So when we play a note, for instance, in the bass C, the string is a certain length. And to do one wave, the string goes like this, from one end of it and back. And so the whole string vibrates as one and creates what is called the fundamental or the first partial. So this is our first partial. And I'm only going to go up, give you 3 instances of this because that's all we need. The next thing that happens when the string vibrates, say it's this long, it also vibrates in halves. And right in the middle of the string is a thing called a node, and it's kind of like an ending point for that segment of the string. So that half of the string is also doing a little wave. And the sound that creates is a note that's an octave higher than the original note. And we call that the second partial. And let me demonstrate how this works. If I hold down the C on the piano and I just push it down without it making a sound, it lifts a damper off the strings so that the string can still vibrate. Now, if I play this middle C above it, you're hearing the middle C in that bottom C. Now I'm going to let this bottom C up, and that C disappears because it's in that string as a harmonic or partial. The third partial of this C is the G, or the fifth of the scale, the G above this C. So that would be up here. And that's the third partial. So I'm going to hold down the C again. And I'm going to bang this G. Let's see what happens. And that's very powerful. I mean, it's really strongly there. Now see if you can hear it if I play this note. There's this little G wave in there. And if you can't hear it on the video, try it on your piano. It's very interesting. So getting back to this, we have the G, GBD, root, third, fifth, resolving to root, root, third. And you say, well, where's the G? Well, you're hearing the G unconsciously. And the G that you're hearing is the one up here above the E. So I'll hold down this C. Okay, so when you're playing C, C, E, you're also hearing that G. So what we're going to do today in each of these cases is take this bottom note, in this case G, write it down here. So we have root, third, seventh, and then we're going to resolve the G down a perfect fifth to the C. So we have root, root, third. Okay, with G sharp seventh, we're going to take that G sharp, put it below the tritone. The G sharp resolves down a perfect fifth to C sharp, which is the root of C sharp major. Okay, A flat seventh, we take the A flat, put it here. A flat resolves down a perfect fifth to D flat, the root of D flat major. And next up is A seventh. We take that A, put it under A seventh's tritone, and the A resolves down a perfect fifth to D, the root of D major. B flat seventh, take the B flat, put it under the tritone, resolve the B flat down a perfect fifth to the E flat, the root of E flat major. And with B seventh, take the B, we have root, third, seventh, and the B resolves down a perfect fifth to E, the root of E major. All right, with C seventh, let's extract that C. We'll put it right here. You notice I'm putting each of these roots when I extract them in the bass clef because we're eventually going to play this with both hands. So C now resolves down a perfect fifth to an F, which is the root of F major. Root, root, third. C sharp seventh, let's take that C sharp, put it under its tritone of C sharp seventh. C sharp resolves down a perfect fifth to F sharp, the root of F sharp major. Let's take D flat from the D flat seventh, put it here on a ledger line. The D flat resolves down a perfect fifth to a G flat. Root, root, third of G flat major. All right, take the root of D seventh, put it on a ledger line under its tritone. The D resolves down a perfect fifth to G, the root of G major. E flat seventh, take your E flat, and what we're going to do here is put it on the second ledger line, like that. So we have the root, the third, and the seventh. The E flat resolves down to an A flat. Okay, and each case we're going, this is the 5 chord, this is the 5 chord without the fifth in it, as demonstrated up here, resolving to the root, root, and the third of the 1 chord. All right, let's take E seventh, so we'll put this E on the second ledger line, and the E resolves down a perfect fifth to A. We have A, C sharp, root, root, C sharp. I'm sorry, root, root, third of A major. Okay, with F, we'll bring this F and we'll put it, take the two ledger lines, put the F on top. So we have F, A, E flat. The F comes down to a B flat, which is a perfect fifth below the F. So we have F seventh resolving to B flat, B flat, B flat, D. And then F sharp seventh, let's do the same thing, two ledger lines, F on top, make it a sharp. We have the root, the third, and the seventh. The F sharp resolves down a perfect fifth to a B. B, B, D sharp is our result. G flat seventh. We're going to come up three ledger lines. 1, 2, 3. So this G here is really the G up here on the second line. All right, it's G flat. G flat resolves down a perfect fifth to a C flat. Okay, and there you have it. So stay tuned for the next lesson and I'll show you how to play each of these. Thanks for watching, and please hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos.